Hello, hello, welcome to another scene set in the living world of darkness. Camarilla edition. As we hone in on the offices of Elysium, or office, the Keeper of Elysium, where a meeting is to be held between several of the city's primogen and one of its newest towns, and a new sheriff, in fact. So a lot of
I'm going to, while he reconnects, I'm going to describe getting into the Elysium, what people would have had to go through.
Alright.
Except for myself. It's in a basement area of a building. You guys, fuck's sake, this thing's freezing up. You guys will have to head down to a stairwell area. Some of the rooms that join this area seem to have been bricked off or closed off in various different ways. You're following a little bit of a winding route, but when you first come there, there's a carpeted area. Unless somebody's coming up, there's actually unless somebody's grossly overweight for some reason, to be suspicious, you'll be told that you'll see there's a camera. There is an intercom. It will politely request you to turn your phones to airplane mode and turn them off and remove the batteries. If you require someone to assist in this matter, that can be facilitated. I assume nobody's going to object to that.
No objection.
Yep, you will be proceed forward. You get to an area. You can see there is a gentleman standing in front of an elevator. You can see there's a camera once more looking down. Are any of you bringing ghouls with you?
nope.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, your assistant will. There's an area where they can wait. They are not allowed beyond this point, really. As are neither I and myself, says the ghoul. However, if they should be coming from the area and ready to assist you if needed. If you would like them to wait outside, that is acceptable too, of course. It is requested that you inform them that if the area comes under attack, or if they are given a reasonable suggestion by myself, that they will follow it.
Of course.
If you look into the area they're being directed towards, yeah, you can see there's like newspapers. There's like a little small bathroom, a mini fridge, and a microwave. It's got some small amenities. And the ghoul then turns to the group, except for certain individuals. He looks towards Spillane and Kaltenbrunner as if he had been given descriptions of individuals such as themselves. Weapons are not allowed beyond this point. And even for those they are allowed.
Well, that means that Lucius will indeed start to unbuckle all his weaponry. He understood, so he understands how this is going.
He puts down
there's a
sample. Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, Sam puts down his assault rifle, his revolver, and 2 knives, then looks a bit guilty, and then pulls out a shotgun and an Uzi and a grenade and a Molotov.
The ghoul's probably looking horrified at what Spillane's taking out.
Staple gun.
Now you're getting crazy.
This guy's bringing out a heavy-looking lockbox for each of you, and allows you to put the weapons inside, and then he's going to, padlock it and hand you the keys for your own lockboxes.
If I can give the keys to my ghoul, I'll do that.
You can, if you so wish.
Yeah, I don't want to walk around with keys. Yeah, we'll get lost. So you got ghouls for to carry stuff.
Then the ghoul checks over with a metal detector. He explains what he's doing first. He's checking with the metal detector and checking for weapons. Very carefully, moving your pad down. Probably somewhat awkwardly with Selena, and probably, let's be honest, not being as thorough due to the awkwardness of what she generally wears.
He doesn't carry
might be able to sneak.
Okay.
He's not checking as well.
Maybe weapons of mass distraction.
He will also ask you to inspect phone to make sure they have been...
Extra XP for Jesse for that one.
The ghoul will check to make sure everybody's phone's been dismantled. Then he nods, he turns to the camera, nods. Then you see the elevator door unlocks. There's another ghoul standing inside. Let's see what this stage is. The ghoul inside will say, I have been asked to inform you of some of the rules that are going to be enforced. The standard rules are, of course, they're common, should not have to be explained. Anyone who breach them would be punished. Rule number 2, no pets, no blood dolls, no ghouls. Rule number 3, no silver, no garlic, no crucifixes or other holy symbols, wild rosewood, hawthorn wood, ash wood, oak wood, holy water. 4, no modern technology, especially computers. 5, do not bring someone who has not been accepted into the city by the prince or by proxy sensible to the ELYSIUM. You and your guests suffer punishments for putting the court at undue risk. First means that the prince or his proxy will be held at a different location. 6, your ghouls will be left outside the area in the designated area. They should be instructed to cooperate with the requests of the individual manning the elevator. 7, if the keeper asks you to leave, leave. If the keeper tells you to leave, you've likely already reached a point of more serious consequences than making a scene. That said, as he has previously been seen, the keeper is quite happy to let you continue to make he's just staying awkwardly finishing up this line, to make a fool of yourself and not comment on the matter. 8, on your way to or away from the ELYSIUM, you should not go hunting. It runs the risk of attracting unwanted attention and drawing it towards ELYSIUM. 9, smoking is not permitted. 10, exceptions to the above are made at the keeper's discretion. You are still in the prince's domain. Heed his words as you always should. Though he leaves the day-to-day affairs to the keeper, he may on occasion grant an exception to the rules above regard to matters affecting the ELYSIUM. Bear in mind the keeper and the prince reserve the right to punish you for the same act independently or together. The ghoul just kind of stop and take a breath afterwards. When he reaches the elevator will at this stage reach the bottom, and he will open the door. The corridor it leads into is strange. It looks like somebody just has row after row of beaded curtains have been laid down. It's very strange. But if you guys progress through it, It's fine if somebody's. Let me know if you're trying to notice anything in particular. But eventually, just after walking through it for a little bit, you come across. You know, when you're entering some banks, they have the the almost airlock type system. There's something like that. You should see York standing on the other side. I'm going to roll for standard ritual A. So are you guys getting into the airlock position?
Of a what?
You know when you go into a bank, you know the way they've that thing where one door can only be opened at a time, so you can't just run straight out or in.
Mm-hmm.
He's got something like that set up.
Oh, he's got it. He's got
standing at the very far side.
Yeah. Okay.
Rolling for him hunting earlier in the night. Assuming you guys go in, he'll hold on for a second. He'll take out. He's actually wearing sunglasses, and those of you who are really looking to pay attention, you're going to notice he's got like earplugs in his ears. He holds up his hand for a second. Takes out. You would have all seen him using the mirror seconds out before. He checks each of you. Nods. He holds the position so you can actually see his reflections. Normal way it is. He takes out the earbuds and takes off the glasses and punches in a code, and the door unlocks, allowing you to enter. Sorry for all of the layers, but well, I hope you'll feel secure. Now, I'd put in mind the security when I was designing the area. Please, would you like to enter the ELYSIUM proper?
I would like to make a formal request that I could smoke in the ELYSIUM.
Unfortunately, and I know this is going to be a problem with certain individuals, I don't exactly have a ventilation system. The place is going to reek of cigarettes if I let people start smoking. Because we don't need a proper ventilation system. It's unfortunately a case of smoking, but I have to put in some kind of ventilation system to stop the smell building up. But that means we've got gangrel anti-tribute coming through as mist, bypassing all the security. It's a little awkward, I know. But please, this way. And he walks over to the door, he smiles, holds it open.
Well, I'm not smiling anymore.
Sam's stare could not be more sardonic if he tried. He's just thinking, gangrel anti-tribute? Really? This is the reason this area is airtight? I want my cigarette, damn it.
Yeah, I know how you feel, dude.
Fucking paranoid Tremere assholes. No thanks, Lucius.
The area it opens up into, much more relaxed surroundings as you see in the picture. Well, nice, pleasant. You can see there's a bar area. You can see there are a number of rooms adjoining it. There's lots of gargoyles and masonry, but that's standard World of Darkness fare. But he'll wait for you to enter and go in himself. Being fairly relaxed in the area.
Right. Sam will take a seat. He'll see that Selena has a seat right next to him. And yeah, sits more or less in the center of the room, because why not? Kevin has now become brown screen.
Lucius will walk towards the table, and as he walks, he reaches into his pocket, gets out a pack of cigarettes, and then pushes it back. And sits on the table, no particular position.
Well, Sheriff Spillane, I'd like to congratulate you on your promotion.
Hi, thank you. I appreciate it. He kind of looks around. If that was the only thing I had to say, then by all means, he'll continue.
If one did not, just a question, if someone did not arrive with the rest of them, can one be let in without being accompanied by the keeper?
He'd have to leave the room again to go through because the actual lock for opening on the other side is he's got the code. The goose without the code. You can't dominate it out of them or anything. And it's locked unless you put in the code and whatnot.
Well, Theodore was not with the others, so there will be a call for Mr. York.
Yeah, he'll go out. Theodore will get similar treatment for. And assuming there's no problems as I described, he'll be allowed in. Here we go. Music. Good
People
evening.
Seeing the flaws in this strategy.
Once Theodore enters, a melodic humming can be heard. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well.
Good evening.
Keeper, I must congratulate you. This is quite a grand place. Not any expenses spared, it seems. Fascinating. Good work, good work. I must say you truly keep your job at the forefront of your attention. That is good. That is very good.
Thank you. Actually, that reminds me of something. There's also a lot of mirrors set up around the room. That leads to an important question for our Toreador. Who is appearance 5?
Yes.
Does she regard herself as, beautiful and requiring of making self-controls for this?
No, she looks in mirrors quite a bit. She obviously thinks that she's gorgeous, but she doesn't entrance herself.
Yeah, it'd be very unlikely else one were like the vainest of the vain of the vain. It's possible.
That's okay.
But
mental note. There are a variety of gestures towards some of the doors. Though not all of them are. There are a variety of meeting groups if individuals wish to have private conversations. You'll see on all the doors are gargoyle knockers, the faces and the actual knocker in case somebody wants to go to rooms. There is a large goldfish tank behind the bar area as well.
Kaltenbrunner can't sit still for like only a few seconds, and he's requesting to leave for a moment.
He'll be allowed to do so. York will have to walk him out.
Then I will go out. You'll be doing this all night. I'm an addict, like motherfucker. So I will go out for a smoke.
Yeah.
Oh well. Some habits die really hard, it seems. Oh, where are my manners? Sheriff Spillane. It's good to greet you. I've heard of your promotion. Congratulations. I'm quite sure under your measured and, well, tempered leadership that this city will be secure.
Simon is very well aware he is neither of those things, and, but takes the praise, and we'll just say, "Oh, well, thank you. I shall do my utmost to succeed where we've been a bit lacking lately. In fact, that's why I'm meeting with our fair primogen today, or this evening, rather."
Well, it is only when we are pushed to the highest and the most demanding positions in the world that we can truly prove what we are. I wish you the very best of luck.
Kaltenbrunner returns.
No, he doesn't. Get him buzzed in.
What? Get me buzz. We'll do it every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
How much stamina does York have?
York like identified to the ghouls that Calderburner's wants to come back in. York
Keep going.
actually looks at his watch, pointedly waits a minute, and then walks out.
You'll need a blood in for this.
He's not rushing, but he does let Kaltenbrunner back in.
Someone's gonna have to make a friendship
But
check at some point.
he does. Every time he's checking with that mirror second sight.
You have the feeling that he's been smoking 2 cigarettes at a time just to get a little bit of nicotine going.
So, Sheriff, do you have any decrees or anything any alteration in the, well, what should we say, protocol for the citizens? Or
Sam thinks for a moment. I've got some missions as it is my duty as a sheriff to take care of, but as in terms of alterations to city law, well, I'm neither of a position to make that decision. That would be the prince's call, and I would not be doing so anyway. However, I did get a message from our former sheriff, Ghost, recently. Apparently there's a Sabbat kindred wandering around calling themselves Melany, masquerading as the Yanok Baron. You got idea, if you run into someone with that name, to come find me as quickly as possible.
Could you give me a description, sir?
Oh, pardon?
Could you give me a description?
I was not given one myself, just the name. Looks like we weren't interacting super directly. It would make sense. The moment this individual would have been discovered by Ghost, Ghost would have most likely killed them on sight, so she most likely stayed out of the way of Ghost. Direct line of sight. That said, considering Ghost has interacted with Sabbat kindred, would be wise to perhaps treat her with a bit of arm's length for the time being. Just to be safe. I'm confident she's loyal, but you can never be too sure.
You're absolutely right, Steph.
I'll be contacting her when it comes time to do this Melany figure permanently. She is quite capable when it comes to playing games of punch face, but not so much else in my opinion. That said, I did actually form this little meeting so we could trade in information. I believe my hound Lucius here and Commissioner York has some new information to share.
Well, I have a few things I've been keeping my eyes on. Some information I'd rather discuss one-on-one. A bit of information I was going to hand over to the former sheriff, but I can hand over to you if you wish. However, on the Sabbat matter, I've been making a few discreet inquiries without getting too close. And in my investigations in Staten Island, it seems that someone's been, how to put this, various religious organizations have been gaining influence, which roughly lines up the growth from the time that the Sabbat really started settling in. There have been also a few Triad members captured in Toot Hill, but I can't understand how much more influential the church has become in Staten Island. I would suspect that you may have read the reports of the priest who died, and some of the more recent reports stated he was burnt in an alleyway after a meeting with a mysterious individual.
At this point, Lucius Kaltenbrunner actually nods his head, like whatever Mr. York is saying is in his eyes is absolutely correct.
However, I've been quite busy. I have several matters I have to keep an eye on, and well, I'm not too keen on, until I identify a few more targets, running off into Staten Island by myself. Though, if a few targets can be located, I'm quite happy to provide some aid in stamping out the Sabbat of one form or another.
So what organizations and leads do you have regarding this matter? Because I'd be more than happy to look into it immediately, should you be able to provide me with the information.
I also have some extra news concerning the murder of the priest, as well as Wilter and several other people that have gone missing in the Sheep's Bay area. Considering 3 other people were murdered, all 3 people were living very close or looking out onto churches. As I also have been doing my investigation, like Mr. York, but maybe even more hands-on approach. Also, if anyone might come across a specific word, a PEBSU with a B, that would be helpful at this moment. I personally have no idea what it stands. Could be a name for a pack or an enemy coterie. I don't know how they call it exactly. But this murder of this priest that has been put on fire alive is claimed by this person or this organization.
I see. I do remember a report going up that was recently removed about this so-called organization. You're doing good work. If you could continue looking into the matter, I'd appreciate it. And if you need any assets thrown your way to make your life Easier regarding your job. Just give me a call. I'll make it happen.
York will actually reach inside his jacket. He brings out similar satin cloth wrapped around a spherical, a disc object, and he'll slide it across the table to Kaltenbrunner. Give you a short-term loan of this may be of use in your investigations. If you unwrap it, you will find it is an obsidian mirror. That is a mirror of second sight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lucius will simply nod and fold it back into the package and slide it in. He knows exactly what it is.
Yeah. For some reason, York is making it of obsidian, though, which is a lot, but you know something you don't.
Glad to see Clanchimera are doing well for themselves. Fyodor, actually, when it comes to the matter of Sabat, I did have a toss for Damien, although I'm not sure you'd like to tag along with him. I'm sure he'd appreciate the help.
Well, regarding what exactly?
We found some rather suspicious information regarding the mayor.
Oh.
The name she provides to the outside world is just an alias. Her real name is Eastern European, and her family tends to meet with her at. I was going to have Damien track them down, find out where they live and what they were doing.
Well, it sounds worthwhile. Necessary investigation. I have my. I'm actually also volunteering, I suppose you could say, borrowing Damien's time for something, well, unrelated, but also a serious matter. But, well, if he asks for assistance, I suppose, any assistance to the sheriff's office is help to all of us.
Okay, well. So long as it doesn't get in the way of his work, you're free to do with him with what you will.
I would never dream of putting him in a position where he would impede the work of the sheriff, of course.
Glad to hear it. So happy to see that Clandos Roto getting back on their feet. Did Hill have a rough couple of months some time ago? Glad to see they're back in action.
That is part of the reason why I'm here.
Aye. Really do it good. Actually, Selena, I know you've got some friends in high places. Could you give me a better idea of where they are? I might, with something to keep you occupied with when it comes to the mayor.
Selena's just been sitting back, letting the men talk, and now and then giving Sam a smile with a proud expression on her face. But she would raise an eyebrow and say, "My friend within the office, you mean?"
In general, I'm going to be having Miss Gwendolyn O'Connor, one of our dear harpies, using her own connections to look into the mayor's medical background, see if we can dig up on that front.
Well,
anything and everything.
I can certainly see what I can find out for you, darling.
Aye, and the more you can tarnish her reputation in the upper echelons of the world, the better things will work out for us. So if you think you can manage it, it would be a great boon to us all.
Anything for my sheriff. And she grins at him.
Rourke is not going to notice. It's appreciated.
I have a, York reaches into his pocket, loan of an item for the sheriff. And he puts his hand across the table and he just places a pebble on the table. Deceptive little thing. Don't bring it back to your haven. Make life awkward for both of us. I'm sure you'll find somewhere secure, at least as safe for the daytime hours, but not in your haven. This is a useful little item. Not so much use for you directly, but if there's ever an individual you or vehicle or such you need to track, if you plant this on their person, I'll be able to track them down a lot more easily. But unfortunately, I can't do it in such a way that will work for you. But as long as you're not tossing it down a dragon's gullet, I'm likely to be able to convince to help you locate where it's wandered off to. I'm sure you can think of a few uses.
Hi. This will be very helpful. I can think of a couple of ways we could use this. Not like I'm not so inclined to put it on the mayor's person. Too risky and too difficult for now. But when we begin...
not the mayor. Or other things. Bunch of Sabat or running away in a pickup truck. That kind of a type thing. Or a situation where you don't have the hounds with you, but there's somebody you want to engage later. That kind of thing. But yes, there are many uses.
Absolutely fantastic. This won't go unappreciated. I'll hand this off to Damien and see if we can get it on a Sabbat kindred. The evidence right now indicates that the mayor is a pawn of one of a prominent Sabbat kindred in the city. Most likely a ghoul. Other than that, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, if you can just fax me over or text me or whatever your preferred method of communication, a report of all the intel you gathered. I'll see what I can about putting it to productive use. I've also got something a bit bigger in the works, but I won't discuss that right now. It's still in its conceptual phase.
Write it up by hand for you, but don't try photocopying it or handing it around. It will look like gibberish to anyone but you.
Of course.
Just masquerade.
You could just use a more traditional cipher.
That too. But that can be cracked.
Fair enough. Well, if there's nothing else anyone would like to discuss, or any outline information that should be attended to, I believe I'm quite settled for now.
Just a potentially quick one-on-one. He looks at the group. information the sheriff may or may not feel he needs to know. Definitely the kind of information. There's some things I wish I didn't know. He smiles.
Send it to me.
Do you? I can give you the short information, and then I can give you the more detailed information that. Are you certain you want to know everything? It may be unsettling. Don't rush to saying yes.
Well, what's the implication here? Because if it's just, if the implication is that it's going to make me uncomfortable, then, well, it's really my job either way to know these things, so... I thought you said no phones, you cheating bastard.
Out of character, shut up. Yeah. Sorry, you were. It's not relevant anymore, and it's very disturbing. The chance of becoming relevant again, if it increases, they fuck off. Jesus Christ.
There he goes again. This bastard doesn't even know his own rules.
If it becomes more relevant, I'll can fill you in on those details.
Just send me the shorthand of it for now, and if it becomes an issue, send me the detail. Just in case, so I can be prepared.
Wise choice.
Mr. Captain Bruno rises up from the table. He's talked long enough, and he's then requesting to exit the smoke again.
York started to look at it and was like, how much money do you spend on cigarettes?
That's on a need-to-know basis, sir. We do not need to know.
A slight shake of the head can be seen at Theodore.
York will shake his head and leave Kaltenberg out again.
My Lady Seneschal, I have not properly greeted you.
She's not out of character. She's not Seneschal yet, that I know of.
No, but he will then. That's true. He will just. I'm sorry, my Lady Selena Primogen. Sorry, my mistake. I see it as a foregone conclusion, but one should not presume. I'm sorry.
She'd smile and say, Theodore, darling, a pleasure as always. And I hope your confidence in me is well placed.
Well, an educated guess is an educated guess. But a guess nonetheless.
She nods. So, how have you been, darling?
Oh, quite well. I'm still looking forward to our, well, not our day, but a day in the sewer. Or whatever is going to happen. Well, we'll see. Still haven't heard anything from Beautiful, but oh well.
I'm sure it will be a delightful occasion.
Right, so do you, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, have you had any appropriate attire for this occasion?
Yes, darling. I've purchased myself a sturdy pair of boots and some jeans, believe it or not. They are most uncomfortable. However, when needs must.
Well, practicality demands it, but I have a pair of waiters, if that is, well, I should bring them in just in case.
Well, thank you, darling.
Sometimes water, the depth can be quite tricky to find out sometimes.
It sounds like I shall have my eyes opened.
Oh, quite so. And hopefully nose and other things closed, but oh no, you will do fine. You'll do fine.
She just chuckles and says, I'm tougher than most people give me credit for, darling. I know I shall be fine.
I'm quite certain of that. However, there is actually one thing. They're putting up a fairly, as far as I know, good production of Lundgren, not too far from there. Quite different affair from last time, but if you are interested, the offer is open.
Hi, darling, I'd love to. I most enjoyed Don Giovanni. I would like to see more opera.
Well, this is, again, Lundgren. This is Wagner, German. Well, it is quite different setting, but awe-inspiring and beautiful nonetheless.
Carlton Bruner is buzzing to get in again.
York looks his watch, sits in the chair. He's looking at Spillane kind of oddly. It's like he's thinking about something about Spillane. If anyone wants to roll perception empathy. Or yeah, that's probably the most appropriate. But he's keeping an eye on the watch. He's not in a particular rush.
Oh, I'll roll. I see how Sam. You see. Okay. I mean,
I have 4 successes.
The difficulty 6 on these, right?
Yes.
Then,
yes.
Then, yeah, 4 successes.
3 successes.
Tell
us how you feel. Tell us how you feel.
It's like he's physically sizing, not for a fight, but trying to get to proportions of you. Like physically, like how tall he is, leg length, different things, for whatever reason. Unsurprisingly, the well-dressed Nosferatu, the Toreador, York looks like he's trying to eyeball and guesstimate his measurements for, like, clothing, for some reason. But after about 3 minutes, York will let Calvin Brunner in.
Selena makes a mental note of what she's seen, but doesn't say anything at the moment.
York just smile at Calvin Brunner. Is like, I may have to come up with something for a smoking room.
Ah, a cigar lounge. Now that is a good idea. Not that this place is that different from one, but a separate room?
Oh, definitely needs to be a separate room. I'm sure I can come up with something if I think on it for a while.
Since there's no smoking, is this just to keep out... Oh, just to keep out the smell since there's no ventilation, or is there another reason?
Well, if the Elysium ever comes under attack, there are several redundancies, but or not necessarily just attack, but it's a deterrent for kind. It's supposed to be a good excuse for someone starts poking into the area, and we can use it to our advantage, and to why the area should be sealed off and never used again. Obviously, if the police, for example, are taking an interest in the area, its use as Elysium is gone, but what it should be deterred away for the moment if it has not great insulation. Also, there is, as I said, deterrence if there was attack in case a large group of ghouls are coming in, that kind of a type thing. And the lower oxygen content would make Molotov cocktails, that kind of a thing, hopefully somewhat slightly less effective at least. And also a ventilation system, as I've said before to people, it well, if someone can, there are various disciplines that someone could use to gain access and bypass the security. Protein is one of the more obvious.
Well, that is true, but it's also simply the fact that not only do you not want anyone to smoke here, you might not be able to. Quite fascinating. I've heard of such an installation. Very low oxygen content for the room, but I'd say this is the first time I've seen an installation of this kind.
Unfortunately, with the current, though hopefully soon to change, foothold, it's about Hasn't City, even if not on Manhattan itself, somewhat more rigorous security was one of the first things I considered.
See, there's more than one reason that you were meant, or you were positioned as Keeper of ELYSIUM. He gets a little tap, a little nod to you. Again, you can't really see his facial expressions since he's covered up, but he just nods at you and just seems to just sit back in the chair. And
Lucius will look at the Nosferatu and then out of the blue kind of ask him, so what kind of cigars do you smoke?
well, not necessarily connoisseur, but actually I don't. Yeah, it's more the allure, more the decrepit nature of, men sitting in a lounge smoking cigars, laughing, and drinking sherry or cognac or something like that.
Exactly. Could you also appreciate a glass of cognac or whiskey with your cigar? And if, by all means, if you allow me to take you out sometime, you could go to a gentleman's bar and enjoy a good evening.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of a charm in that sort of setting. Although, one should not indulge in such a thing too often. It leaves a mark on one's.
Well, maybe I can get us a private moment in due time.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, sure. That could be a good. He just looks around and just, excuse me, Mr. York. I know this is a fairly recent thing, but are there any chance that one could require refreshments here?
Good question. And he looks at York.
York has embraced his inner Toreador.
Sorry, I'm muted. Sorry. There are, of course, the gestures towards the bar area. Tops like there are kind refreshments, and there, I do have other refreshments. He heads behind the bar. These are not always here. These are only here when York's here or somebody else from his coterie, and they've arranging it. He takes out a small clay bottle, about the size of a beer bottle, and he walks over And he hands it to Theodore for inspection. Theodore will see there's a wax seal on it. This is a pine blood. It has been preserved using one of the techniques known to my clan. It, as long as the seal and the container itself remain unbroken, it will remain fresh for centuries.
Indeed. He sits with it in his hand, measures it, or just looks at it for a moment.
Please feel free to have that one as a sample, free of charge.
Very kind of you, Keeper. Thank you. And I was hoping to buy Mr. Caterpillar here a drink, but well, again, he seems a little bit fascinated by this jar and just, well.
Mr. York.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, indeed.
If one would want to acquire such a, well, I should say a sample, what would be the fee?
For a single bottle, would be a trivial boon. 2 bottles, a minor boon, and 5 bottles would be a major boon. Although I can package blood for an individual, of course, there's always the possibility of alternate arrangements.
Do you also sell glasses?
Glasses? Sorry?
Yes, not necessarily an entire bottle, but more of just a glass.
I could do, I suppose. But bottles are generally the smallest amount I'm going to be dealing in.
Thank you.
And if one was to hear you out about such a delivery, is there a specific number what should call you on?
Sorry?
If one was to inquire about, well, an order of such items, is there a specific number one should call?
Oh. There are times when perhaps demands will make the numbers smaller, but I will aim to facilitate individuals best we can, and perhaps with larger orders a discount could be in order.
Ah. A thaumaturgist and a salesman. And a good host. I must say, you have quite a few talents, Mr. York.
Why, thanks. You're very kind.
Well, I will have to... I'll get back to you, but I'm quite sure we can come to some sort of arrangement.
So, as I said, if individuals aren't always want to be handing over boons, there's always alternate arrangements that can be made.
Understandable.
But I fear we're keeping the sheriff. He doesn't want to leave us abruptly. Oh, wait, sorry, that was best from Raven. Like, I think we can leave the scene there, guys, will we?
Aye.
That was abrupt.
Sorry, I saw Raven's got to go. Oh, she's already left. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
I thought that was you saying it, and I was like, oh shit,
We're
he's
still
the
live.
host.
We are still
Sorry,
live. But yes. So York basically ends his conversation with Fyodor there, correct?
Yeah, he's finished talking
pretty
about
much.
that stuff.
With that, then, Sam will be getting up and to leave Selena. Just before he goes, he'll head over to York and Fyodor and shake both their hands. Or shake the hands of all three in the room rather quickly and with force. Rather, the same happy-go-lucky demeanor that Sam tends to carry himself with. And say, anyways, it was a pleasure to talk with you all. I'll be heading out with our dear Primogen. We have other matters to attend to. I'll be seeing you soon. And Fyodor, it was great to see you again.
Oh, likewise.
I'll send Damien your regards.
Thank you, my sheriff.
Pleasure seeing you too, New Hound. You're doing good work. And with that, he'll wave and be let out with Lady Selena. And that leaves the three kindred alone. And that deafening silence, I think we can end our scene on.
Actually, wait.
Okay.
Theodore will just get up. He seems to still regard this bottle he's been given. He just puts it in his pocket and just, thank you very much for this fine gift. Thank you very much. Indeed.
You're quite welcome.
I'll have to do some eating. No, it's probably not a problem for you, but I don't know. Have any of you been? Have any one of you noticed that there is a bit more, a bit less people around on the streets, or is it just me? Not that it's necessarily a problem, but it's just been. Then again, I'm also new to the city, so it might be my.
Are you speaking of a specific area, or generally?
Well, areas. Well, it's the what shall we say, less than washed masses. Places where the less fortunate of the society is a place I am somewhat more comfortable walking most of the time. It just seems there.
What I've noticed, even I talked to Theodore, is while I was investigating the places where people got murdered, that all of these people who got murdered were technically beneficiaries to the less fortunate. People who were not afraid to hand out extra food to those in need. I've come across this, and I considered it to be a pattern after 3 names came up, including the good priest, but also the real estate builder was a very generous man and actually gave food to the homeless men who were in the area, because I spoke to them.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Quite.
Well, I thank you for that little tidbit. But it might not be me that's putting too much stock in it. Anyway, gentlemen, it's been a genuine pleasure. I will take my leave.
We'll see him out. And he heads back into Mr. Kaltenbrunner. Of course, congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
You certainly seem to be impressing the new sheriff. Good work.
We all have to do what we have to do for the clan.
Of course. Is there anything else you'd like to inform me of?
Yes, I applied for a coterie. I was hoping the Prime of the Toreador might say something to me tonight, but she didn't. Also, the sheriff didn't mention if I was allowed into the coterie, yes or no. So it's still pending.
Their coterie has rather large numbers.
Well,
so they may be weighing it up.
You might have heard that they recently lost one of their members due to a very unfortunate blood bonding accident. The Lauren, or what her name was, I'm not sure what her name was. Quite a beautiful girl. She was found out to be trying to blood bond one of the members of court. Got found out, got staked, and was brought in front of the sheriff to save face, I assume. The coterie immediately broke all ties with the young Malkavian, actually leaving a place at the table.
Very good. She was the one I was thinking of warning you about. I hadn't heard they had ejected her from the coterie. She's...
Well, not really could call yourself a good coterie if you don't punish for these transgressions. They're too large.
Still, they're doing well, and hopefully with your abilities you'll be able to prosper as a hound one way or another. And,
I know I will.
Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, you gave me this lovely mirror. I will try and see if I can use it on specific within specific areas during my investigations. I haven't been given an exact assignment, but I still want to know what to use.
Very good. I'll be in contact with you soon enough again, I'm sure. We'll have to get a...
Mr. Pierce or yourself are doing at this moment that I should be aware of?
Planning, preparing. We, as you know, have acquired a coterie domain. Digesting it, so to speak, setting things up. I'm preparing some logistics. The sheriff may have informed you, or another individual. I'm not sure if he's been apprised in that for certain, but no doubt he has been. The Sabat situation.
Right. I haven't been informed yet. I just heard that something with fear, not a real name. That's a rumor I heard, but I haven't really gotten into any details of that yet.
Well, give him a chance to say it to you, but let's not go through my details. Shall we say, one way or another, things are going to come to a head. I'm stockpiling, making preparations. As you know yourself, that is a large part of winning the battle. But the information you're gathering will be of great use, no doubt. Make the battle even easier.
Well, if there's anything I can do for you, considering security or venturing in the area to make sure that we are not invaded. See.
I'll make sure to keep you in mind. But I've already made some arrangements on that front myself.
Alright. Then don't let me disturb you, and I find you in a good evening tonight.
Very good, Mr. Kaltenbrunner. I look forward to hearing very good things. The sheriff, no doubt, will come to rely on your advice for occult matters. I had begun to worry that the previous sheriff was leaning a lot on myself for that.
Well, I'm not a specialist within our bloodline, within our clan, but do the best I can. If I figure it out, they will end up with you. Just make sure that you ask the proper payment.
Sorry, could you repeat that last bit?
If I can't figure it out, because I'm not a specialist in many occult things, he will come back to you. And if he does, all you have to do is just ask the proper payment for services rendered.
Sometimes when it comes to helping individuals such as the sheriff, for the good of everyone, a certain level of payments can be waived or downgraded, as long as the sheriff makes sure to make it known the assistance was given.
Like I said, for the greater good of the clan, payment can be seen as a reward as well as actual sharing of booze and the like.
But I won't hold you up any longer. Hopefully the night's investigations go well for you, Hound Kaltenbrunner.
Thank you, and indeed a very good night. And he will try to leave again, and as he leaves, he takes out a cigarette.
Once everyone's gone, York's just gonna go back into ELYSIUM, and he's just gonna shake his head like, apparently I have to put in a smoking room. There's that many of them.
And with that, we'll end our scene right there. Thank you for playing, thank you for viewing, see you next time.